Hi there. This is Evelyn from evelynd.com. And today I want to talk about the concept of conscious consumption. If you've ever had what you might consider a problematic relationship with eating or drinking or scrolling or shopping, this video is for you. I'm going to share actually 3 key integration opportunities that we have each and every day to start to develop more of the consciousness that is necessary to start to change behaviors. And it's a practice. I can't emphasize that enough. I still fall down all the time with my practice, but in general, these integrations that I'm going to show you are really helpful. And the reason why I call this conscious consumption versus mindful eating or intuitive eating, and there's nothing wrong with those approaches at all. But the consciousness is not just the mind. So with mindful eating, we're looking at the more of like, what are your thoughts, and like more of the mental aspects of our behaviors. And then with intuitive eating, it's actually more of intuition is more the heart consciousness. And I feel like they need to work together. There needs to be an integration between the heart, the body, and the mind. And so that's where this term comes from. And this is the term that I choose to use. And again, just a short story, when I was practicing intuitive eating, and it's a wonderful approach, I had a lot of unhealed parts and hidden associations with my behaviors of choice, emotional eating or over drinking. And so intuitively, I might be like, yes, let's feel better. Let's not be restrictive. Let's, reject diet culture. But without the healing and the understanding and the integration between the heart, the mind, and the body, intuitive eating, you have to kind of be ready for it or be okay with, just constantly failing and not feeling like you're really getting it. So that's where conscious consumption comes from for me in my work. So I'm going to share my screen. This won't be too long. It's really just one slide, and hopefully this will work and we'll be good to go. Okay, so let me present here. Okay. All right, so conscious consumption, once again, this is a practice, and there's just one other slide, so this won't be too long. So we have an opportunity every day, basically in every moment, to practice. And I think if you have that sense of this is a practice, I'm not going to get this like first shot. This is not, the goal is not to be perfect here and to not judge myself or beat myself up. I think that you will go a lot further in your ability to actually transform and let go of the attachments that we might have to certain behaviors or substances. So there's 3 integration gateways, I like to call them, that are essentially opportunities for us to practice. The first is kind of foundational. It's like, it's getting very clear on what your ideal desired state or your relationship with that substance is. Is it to, to be moderate? Is it to abstain altogether? Is it to eat slowly? Is it to have a limit in terms of how much you're scrolling or how much you're spending? Whatever it is, get very clear and then set a foundation, not like it's different than a goal. It's your kind of innate intention around that. Like, where do you see yourself? Like your vision for how you actually, when you master this relationship that you have, and when you can let go of all the identities and attachments to it, what does that intention look like? What does it actually feel like? So you set these intentions in this gateway, number 1, by continuously setting your intentions. So you're doing that maybe when you first wake up, maybe when you're doing a journal, maybe when you're having your coffee, maybe throughout the day with some breath work or some grounding practices, or just in your discussions with other people. Doesn't matter how or what you do. It's just a matter of kind of having that connection to that intention on a regular basis. And you're more likely to get there if you verbalize or write it down and really are clear in terms of what your intention is. So that's the first gateway. Second gateway to me is the most challenging, and that is practicing the pause in the moment. Like right before, there's a split little micro moment before, when an urge bubbles up or the desire for the thing or the behavior bubbles up, and you go. And some might describe it, I've had some clients describe it as a just irresistible pull. Some describe it like almost like they're possessed, or they leave their body and they are in the pantry or pouring the third glass of wine or whatever they're doing. So there's no judgment here, but to practice in the moment can make a huge difference in terms of understanding yourself and, again, connecting with that intention and your desired state. So it's not something that you're always going to get. I mean, if you do, great. But if you don't worry about it. You can go to gateway number 3, and that is the post-reflection. This is where I actually learn the most about myself, because I have the time and the space and the memory of what I was experiencing in that moment to explore and to really untangle what was going on for me, what made me feel triggered or unsafe, or whatever language speaks to you in that moment where it felt better to indulge or to consume unconsciously and like to check out. So these are 3 ways where you can start to step more into conscious consumption. And like I said in the beginning, and I will say this over and over again ad nauseum, it's a practice, and you're not going to be perfect. In fact, I'd be nervous if you're perfect, if you had like a lifelong habit, because that kind of is telling me that you're using more force versus the true integration of all aspects of your consciousness, of your beingness. So subscribe if you're not subscribed. Comment below if you have an experience with unconscious consumption, or one if you've had experiences with any of these exercises, or maybe something different that has allowed you to really improve your connections to your consumption and be more aligned with that aspect of yourself. So I'd love to hear from you. Give it a like if this might help somebody that you know or love. Please share it. And if you want to know more, I'm going to deep dive more into this in a upcoming email, probably this week or early next week. So you can subscribe. I'll leave the links below, and let me know what you think. Join my email list, where we dive into all things deep related to our bodies, our relationship with food, our relationships to life, and ourselves. So I'd love to have you join that community. It's totally free. There's a lot of free resources at my website as well. So I hope you have a great day, and we'll see you next time.